If automation, IoT, and robotics is the future, then RACE is a launchpad for careers in these high-growth industries. Also known by its full name, the Robotic Automation Center of Excellence is a training academy run by homegrown robotics manufacturer PBA. Its remit is to help old-school engineers make mid-career transitions into the future of the profession.
We started RACE to train engineers with robotic and automation knowledge. They would have been engineers by the time when what they learned in school was not so relevant now, right? So we want to make sure that RACE bring them the relevancy.
One of the other questions that the clients asked was about the position of
Business consultant Eugene Go is learning how to make robots at RACE. The impact of the pandemic on the job market forced him to reassess his future.
Although I'm 31 and I feel that I'm on track to be obsolete by maybe 35, I do foresee that the industry will move towards automation. In fact, automation will become the norm. So when I decided to switch into robotics, I was taking a step out of my comfort zone. But I decided that it was better for myself if I did it sooner than later. I feel that Singapore's economy will move towards Industry 4.0 and being a smart nation. I saw it that taking the risk now was better if I could be equipped with the right skills, upscaling and rescaling towards this direction.
Future-ready professionals like Eugene are just a small part of the story of how Singapore invented, innovated, and improved life during the pandemic. It's a story of how bright minds with bold ideas found inspiration in the midst of a global crisis to build a better, safer, smarter way for a new age.
A victory that could be a game changer for a region struggling to emerge from the ravages of a coronavirus pandemic. In the midst of a continuing rivalry between two superpowers, will 2021 see the demise or resurgence of Asia? Asia in 2021, Prospects, Threats and Challenges, a forum special. Insight, Thursday on CNA.
Don't miss out on all the celebrations that took place at the 2020 Gangnam Festival. Find out who were the showstoppers in this year's concerts and performances, along with the top art installations in Seoul and the vibrant tech displays and projections. You don't want to miss this party. Gangnam Insiders Picks, Sunday on CNA. Gangnam Insiders Picks is brought to you by the Gangnam-gu office.
The internet, it's contributing to global carbon emissions.
Email or WhatsApp? Which one's greener? Streaming music or vinyl? What's greener?
There's a tendency to want easy answers to these questions, right?
This January, spring into action with tech visionaries, global titans, and heroic frontliners. When titans clash, will the trade and tech war tensions between China and the US ease under a new administration? Ahead of their time, get the inside scoop on pioneer companies shaping the way we live, eat, and connect. Contact tracers, the people tasked to unearth the path of the mysterious virus. Their inside story. This January on CNA.
As I live my life, I am increasingly surprised by my strength, my determination, by the power of my beliefs. I find reward in the honesty of my endeavors, proud of what I have achieved, and convinced there is much more I can do.
Singapore tonight.
Good evening, I'm Dawn Tan. Tonight's top stories. In his New Year message, Prime Minister Lee points out the high level of trust Singaporeans have in the system as the country responds to COVID-19. 5 new community infections of COVID-19 reported, all linked to cases in the marine sector. The sector is now in focus, with testing being ramped up and precautionary measures to be reviewed.
I'm Melissa Go, and I'll tell you what you'll see for the New Year countdown at Marina Bay.
A year like no other, we take a look at some moments of 2020. The high level of trust Singaporeans have in the system has stood out in the country's COVID-19 response. In his New Year message, Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong says that this has helped Singapore avoid major divisions in the community that have happened elsewhere. He's also urged Singaporeans not to falter in this final stretch in the fight against the pandemic.
One small step for man, one giant leap for recovery. Even before the arrival of vaccines in Singapore, the gears were set in motion to stem losses amid the pandemic. 5 budgets totaling nearly 100 billion Sing dollars have been passed to keep businesses afloat and workers employed. Even as things gradually improve, Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong says Singapore's economy is not yet out of the woods, although signs of stabilization are starting to emerge, with employment picking up and MNCs making significant new investments. Mr. Lee adds that he looks forward to a rebound in 2021, although recovery won't be smooth and with activity likely to remain below pre-COVID levels for some time. For instance, even though Singapore has largely kept local infections down, imported cases from returning citizens or from construction workers and foreign domestic workers resuming work could result in community infections. Despite such uncertainty, Mr. Lee is urging Singaporeans to emerge stronger from the shared experience of this crisis. He added that the renewal of the people's mandate from the general election showed that Singaporeans are confident in the PAP government to ride through the crisis. He says the government will continue to strengthen the social compact and give every Singaporean equal opportunity to do well, to take advantage of opportunities in a different world. Mr. Lee adds that Singaporeans must come together to rebuild better and stronger from what he calls the defining crisis for this generation. He says a new generation has shown what it takes to make Singapore survive and succeed, but the fight against COVID-19 continues, and there will be new and unexpected hurdles in the months and years ahead. Despite this, Mr. Lee says he's confident Singapore will blaze a path forward if everyone stays together as one.
Capping off a year like no other, countdown festivities are also unique this year. There are no big crowds or outdoor concerts to ring in the new year. Instead, celebrations are going virtual to keep people safe. Melissa Go joins us live from the float where MediaCorp's Let's Celebrate 2021 will be aired from. Good evening, Mel. Tell us more about what's going on where you are.
Well, it's just 2 hours to midnight and less than half an hour to the start of the Let's Celebrate 2021 countdown show. And, I'm at Marina Bay. It's typically the heart of the action on New Year's Eve and typically bustling with crowds. This year, it's a little quieter, and the show is also going to be different from previous years. There are no live audiences, there are no live performances, but instead, there's at the heart of the show is really a call to rally Singaporeans to stand together and look forward to a brand new year together. The show will also celebrate local and international acts. For one, Tabitha Nauza will be decked out in locally designed wear for her show performance. And I'm told that there's something to look out for because they're filmed all around the Marina Bay area and feature various spots like, the Helix Bridge. So that's something to look forward to. And despite the fact that there is no audience here, there will still be plenty of interaction going on, just that it's moving to social media. They are calling for audiences to actually post their countdown moment online so that we can all count down together as a nation. Apart from that, later on in the show, there will be special New Year messages from Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong and Deputy Prime Minister Heng Swee Keat during the show.